Hey everybody, I'm making this video um, because I want to express to you what's going on. Basically, I've been dealing with chronic Bartonella or cat scratch fever, and it's supposed to be a self-limiting disease that only lasts 1 to 2 months, and then your immune system will beat it. But in my case, this is not what's happening. So I guess I could start to explain what was happening, what's going on now. But in September of 2014, I was raising a bunch of kittens in my house. They were stray kittens, foster kittens that we got from the ASPCA. And I kept taking care of them and giving them baths, and they scratched me. And we were playing with them and having fun and stuff. But they scratched me a couple times. I didn't really think anything of it. I knew about cat scratch because my father had it, but I never really thought I would get it. But lo and behold, a couple months later, I'm showing all these symptoms that I have no clue what they are. None of the doctors know what they are. But it wasn't until I saw a Lyme literate doctor where they diagnosed me with Bartonella, which can also be found in ticks, but they say more than likely it came from those cats raising the kittens in my house, but that's besides the point. But in September, I got really sick and my lymph nodes started hurting and my immune system was just at rock bottom. I was stressed out, a lot of stress in my life, and and Halloween came around and my lymph nodes were still swollen, and then Christmas came around, my lymph nodes were still killing me. And finally, I guess the bacteria moved from my lymph nodes to my central nervous system, and then I started to get heart palpitations. In January, I ended up in the ER with severe heart issues and a body-wide reaction that I didn't know what caused it. And none of the doctors had known what caused it. They did a bunch of blood work and said, I had some of the best blood work they've ever seen. All the levels were pretty much perfect, which was kind of the opposite of what I felt. I felt like I was literally knocking on death's door, but they were telling me otherwise. So after that, I kind of started to feel worse, but I was going to work. I was getting more and more stressed because my health was deteriorating. I was getting stressed at work, from work, and just things weren't not going my way. I went to some more doctors. They did some more blood work. Once again, I was told I was the epitome of health, and these symptoms were caused by stress and anxiety. And this kept going on. I kept going to work. I kept coming home, just gasping for air, being unable to breathe, unable to eat foods that I could normally eat because my stomach was so severely destroyed. And I thought at one time it was H. pylori, which Bartonella can mimic, but it wasn't. It ended up I ended up testing negative for H. pylori. That was one of the tests they performed on me. They stick an endoscopy tube down your throat and do a biopsy. And a couple other tests. They tested me for parasites, some other blood works. I actually went to one doctor and said, maybe I have Lyme disease, and they kind of laughed at me. But that's the way Western medicine is. They're some of the dumbest, smart people you could ever meet. They're not really open to what the patient thinks, or they don't think you're as smart as them. And they don't think anybody's smarter than them because they're a doctor. But in reality, they are very smart people, but they're just not open-minded to, chronic cases. If it doesn't fall under the Merck manual or whatever other diagnosis they have seen before, they just write it off as, psychological or something. There were multiple times where the doctor wanted me to go for psych testing, thinking like I'm going crazy, but it was actually the bacteria that was causing my brain to go crazy because I started hallucinating at some points because the bacteria can get in your brain and produce all sorts of just nasty symptoms, eye floaters, hallucinations, hearing things, ringing in the ears, along with the cardiovascular symptoms, the air hunger, the just struggling to breathe, waking up in the middle of the night out of breath, insomnia. What else is there? The stomach problems that I was having, gastritis, just completely terrible, terrible stuff. Joint pain. At one point, my whole body was just completely numb. I couldn't feel anything at all. I couldn't feel my body. Um, I felt so dead. I was like the Walking Dead is what I called it. That's what I felt like. I was walking around. I looked very normal, and I still look very normal. But like inside, I feel so dead, just dead. There's no other explanation for it. I don't have any energy. Um, my adrenal glands are shot. I get the shakes every once in a while. My joints hurt, my heart hurts, chest pain, brain pain, electrical zapping sensations that go up and down my spine and into my brain, down my neck, in my nose, and in my throat. Just like it feels like someone just probed that nerve with some electrical probe, and it lit the whole thing from my torso up on fire, like just like the electrical chair. But basically, it all ended at 6 months of going to normal doctors. I ended up at a Lyme doctor, and they diagnosed me with Bartonella, which is a co-infection of Lyme. Although I tested negative for Lyme and Babesia, which are Babesia is the other co-infection that goes with Lyme. But I tested negative for those, so that was good. But the Bartonella just keeps, the harder you treat it, though, it seems like the harder it hits you. The antibiotics don't really do much. The herbal remedies help, but have side effects. But like when you kill the bacteria, it gets worse, and then you get confused if it's a herx or you're getting better, you're getting worse, or whatever it is. I just don't know.